Great heat coming up.
There we go. Pedro, Calado, Lenny, Ryan Hipwood, Nick Lamb, Trevor Carlson, and Ian Walsh. All on the lineup. 2 Maui boys in the way of Ian Walsh and Lenny. Looks like Ian Walsh trying to get into this one.
He's got a dig in this one. It's a deep and steep one.
Deep, steep, underneath, and Ian Walsh coming around the corner there. Nice high line through the bowl. Foamy section, and fins get a little bit disengaged in that whitewater, but did a really good job of 1, scratching into that wave, 2, establishing that line. Beautiful wave by Ian Walsh.
The cavitation, I mean, you go over bubbles in the water.
Lenny, big drop of his own. Kai's able to square off the bottom, comes off the top, gliding, and goes complete. So the 2 Maui boys, first 2 up, first with scores.
Difference, and he's got that. Looks like Ian's drop though, super committed. This is a bomb. Look how many times overhead that is. That's 6 times overhead. That is easily a 40-foot wave, and right here, cavitates. That's a dangerous fall. When you fall like that sometimes and you extend your arm, you're falling, it feels like concrete. And then Lenny, and again, look at him, grabbing the rail. And the advantage he has is that he rides paddle boards, and he does stand-up paddle surfing. So he is used to riding 10-foot boards and maneuvering them. So you're gonna watch, look at the commitment to him. Early into it, the wave ledges underneath. See how he puts his foot right up onto the rail, making sure that that toe edge is biting in. That lucky number 4. At some point he'll tell us what that 4 means. But that's Ian knowing exactly where he is in the lineup. He is one of the best at understanding the lineup of where he is. He's won at Sunset Beach, another difficult place that if you know your lineups there and you know the swell directions and you know where you want to be, he is perfectly positioned. He passed up a couple waves, be able to get this one, worked out perfectly for him. This is going to be a good number for him.
See kind of the dismount right here you were talking about, Pete, and having those limbs extended. They got some big surf on hand right now, scratching into this one. Pedro Calado on his backup board. Takes a left, and on the right, we're going to stick with Calado. It looks like Lenny took off on the right. But Pedro out in front, and looks like he's going to glide out of this left-hander with ease. We'll get caught up with happen with Lenny on his second wave.
Outside.
Ryan Hipwood. Hippo, big wall in front of Ryan. Does so great right in the pocket there, and you can see that wave just kind of buck Hipwood off, and he goes complete. That was a successful ride, but a challenging ride, Pete.
It was. He was right there, that commitment. You see Calado, and then all on the left-hand part of your screen, you get to watch Lenny, and how is that drop? Look at the line he draws. He is carrying a ton of speed, turning up mid-face, and that allows him to have that extra speed and gets all the way out to the corner. 2 great rides for Lenny. So talk about somebody that wants a world title. This kid is as competitive as they come. You look at him, so wide in his stance. He is has no worries. Look how wide his board is too. That is whoa, he almost ate it there. His nose submerged and somehow hangs on, and that's that ability to have that wide stance and getting low to his board, able to keep that control together. See him shift his feet on his board, and that's that ability that he has of moving around on a surfboard with ease. He flicks his feet up and down. He has no problem riding those bigger boards because he rides them all the time.
So impressive, Lenny. And here's a look at the left for Pedro.
So Pedro, again, not as steep on the drop. Those, you can see there's a much more slopier face. Judge is taking note. Yes, the lefts are going to have the ability to get out to the corner, and you can ride those bigger waves, but they're not going to score as high because they do not have the steepness that the rights do. Hipwood here, look at him drive up into this pit, right underneath it. It almost catches him, and he keeps the control together to get out into the channel. That feels good. I'm sure it's his first big wave of the season as well. A lot of these guys in these heats are going to have their first rides of the season happening in a jersey. See right underneath it, look at it, he's shifted up on the board, gets super compact, low, somehow skirts the energy, squirts him out.
Yeah, looks like Hipwood utilizing some local equipment, Sean Ordonez shapes, SOS shapes underneath his feet.
What's he doing?
We got Walsh paddling into this one. Take a look at this drop and the size of the wave. Ian Walsh just on a monster. Coming around this inside bowl, hangs right in there.
Hang on, hang on.
Makes it to the channel.
We call that success in big wave riding. That was a monster. Biggest wave of the event so far. The drop again. He's much further back on the board, so riding the tail edge of it. And when you do that, you get the ability of you know, more maneuverability. And look, he tangled up with his board right there too.
Oh, that looked dangerous, Peter. He was rolling around with 10 foot of heavy surfboard there.
And 4 razor blades attached to it. Look at this one. This is just a massive wave. Ian Walsh, such a great line too. Look at, he picks a wave that's like the 3rd one in the set, so he had the ability to bottom turn off of it, right up into that pit, and keeps some control out into the channel. Going to be another massive number for Ian Walsh. Going to be the highest number of the day. Look at how big that wave is. That's 6 times, 7 times overhead. That's all of 45 feet. And when you look at what we do for this big wave tour too, that we haven't talked about today.
Right. Talk about it now, Pete. We have the coefficient.
The coefficient. So each event is rated differently by the size of the swell and surf. And once it gets above 45 feet on the face.
Here we go, Lenny up. Right behind him, Ryan Hipwood taking a deeper inside line, and Hipwood goes down, hitting a couple of bumps on the way.
So the risk of
smart to kick out though, right?
Yeah, well, I just, again, to stay out of an interference, he kicks out of that way. But you know what?
Here's our first look at Trevor Carlson.
No!
And Trevor just pulls up late into that section.
The guys that we've seen successfully commit to the barrel, Mark Healy, Billy Kemper, you see their technique, they're knifing it, and they are not letting up. They're holding that edge. They're not forgiving it whatsoever. So again, quickly getting out of that. Lenny, he's already got a good 2nd place, doesn't want to risk having any problem of getting interference, but bad place for him to bail out. You know, at that situation, do you straighten out and take the lip, or are you going to try and think that maybe there's not another wave behind it? But there was another massive wave behind it, and it just lands directly on his head. Again, there's a bit of chop. We've got a little bit more wind blowing. That northerly wind makes for a bit choppier on the face. That's why that wave number 2 or 3 is going to be a little smoother. But had control here. He's ready to commit, but he realizes, oh no, that thing's not going to open up, and jumps off and bails. But I'm sure he got beat by that wave, plus the next one, and even a couple after that. But wow, Hipwood going to have to bounce back here.
Trevor Carlson, what went wrong here, Peter?
Well, Trevor had the ability of getting that wave number 3, so you saw the drop was much smoother on the face, but what it did happen is he ran into the whitewater of Ryan Hipwood's wave.
Making a move. It's going to be Trevor Carlson. Bounces down that face on a left. He's able to engage that rail. Holds onto that rail. Solid stance. He's going to go complete. Remember, Carlson's looking for a 5.19 to move into 3rd place. So
was there enough?
Was there enough of a critical element to that wave is probably the question that we're going to have to ask.
It is a completed ride, but was it a nice, difficult takeoff? This is the first wave of the set, so it's underneath, and it's not a super steep takeoff. Matter of fact, it's actually, I mean, it's difficult because there's bumps on the face, but it wasn't steep. You know, you need that nice vertical face to the wall to really get the judges excited. And that kind of shows that commitment. That's where it shows that degree of difficulty. So it wasn't a very hard wave to ride. So I don't know if it's going to quite go into the score needed, but
the bar being set by Maui's own Ian Walsh.
Well, and Maui as a whole, really.
Yeah,
you
true.
look at Billy Kemper, what he was able to do to win his heat. Again, I've yet to see Albie Lair, who will be coming up next. But Ian Walsh, Lenny has been exciting, and that local knowledge playing a bit of a role.